Welcome to the show, Dr. Kennedy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to us. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to list just a few of your many accomplishments.
Okay.
You are a Meadowbrook graduate, class of 1998, basketball player, drum major, all-state in track, a member of the National Honor Society,
Right.
attended the University of Maryland on a full scholarship.
Right.
You received your doctorate from VCU Medical Center and is now working as a physical therapist.
Right. That's
It's
right.
just a lot, so much. The list goes on, right?
You got it, though. You got it. You got it down.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
All right, now I'd like to start off by asking, how was your experience at Meadowbrook?
It was a variety of experiences, a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, a lot of lifelong friends made. I had the opportunity to gain some valuable academic knowledge and a skill set that I was able to carry throughout college and grad school and into my everyday work life. I was exposed to the community through my various activities, some of the ones that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I was able to hone some of my athletic skills, some of my health awareness, which kind of drove me into the career that I have now by playing basketball and running track. So there was a lot that I gained from being a part of the Meadowbrook community.
Okay. Now, speaking of playing sports, what were some of the skills that you learned from playing sports in high school that later helped you in your career as a
Okay.
physical therapist?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is teamwork. As a basketball player, I know you're a ball player
Yes.
too.
Yes.
So
My
you
God.
learn, right? So you learn how to work within the team. I learned some leadership skills. I had the honor of being the captain my senior year, so I was
Okay.
able to learn some leadership skills there and how to pull the skills of multiple people together to benefit the team as a whole. But I also ran track, and that was an interesting addition to the athletic experience because when you run track, you're an individual, and even if your whole team doesn't make it to districts or regionals or states, you can make it by yourself. So you have to have that focus and that determination in yourself to propel yourself forward, and then that compounds with the skills of your teammates to bring the team upward. So I was able to use kind of track and basketball to gain some experience there.
Definitely. You were so involved in school activities, just not even just sports, but, drum major, the band, National Honor Society.
Right.
How did you manage your time? How did you do time management?
That's
with
a
all
good
that?
question. And in high school, some of it's built in. You have your regular class hours from 7:20 to 1:45 or whatever it was. And then with my band and with my basketball and track, they were all 3 different seasons of the year. And I had practice right after school, so that was built in. Now my clubs, foreign language club and that sort of thing, they had less frequent meetings, but I was able to kind of arrange that with my coaches or with our band leader to say, hey, I've got to go by foreign language club for a few minutes before I come to practice. And then as long as I scheduled my homework time for myself in the evening, I could fit it all in. So
Yeah,
it's
that's no problem.
it's a difficult skill to learn, but the more practice you get in high school, the more you'll be able to carry it into your daily life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, moving on from Meadowbrook, how would you say how was your transition from high school to college? Moving on.
So as a freshman in high school, you have a few things that you're interested in, and the more that you kind of get involved in your community in high school, the more things you end up with as a senior. So I had a lot of things going on my senior year, but when I got to college, you're back at square one. So my transition, I actually had a harder time filling up my time in college. I tried to make sure that I would be able to focus on my schoolwork when I got there, so I didn't have as many organizations that I was involved with my freshman year of college. But the same way that I built up my involvement during my high school years, I did that over my college years too. So I made sure not to overschedule myself my freshman year to allow myself time to get acclimated to my new surroundings and my new school.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What did you major in?
I majored in kinesiology,
Okay.
which is the study of human movement. I thought going into college that I was interested in physical therapy, but I didn't know much about the career. And when I went to do my college visits, and I went to, at the University of Maryland, they separate the university into different colleges. And there was a College of Health and Human Performance.
Okay.
So I went to visit that area of the university, and I was talking to the dean and letting him know what career I might be interested in. He said, well, if you're not sure, he said, you don't have to pigeonhole yourself now. He said, you can do something more broad, like a biology, or we have this thing called kinesiology, the study of human movement. And that can be applied across various different careers, a physical therapy, if that's what you choose, but maybe you want nursing, or maybe you want athletic training, or maybe you want to be a coach, or maybe you want to be a community health educator. So I chose that major to give me a broader background so that as I gained more experience in the field, I could pick a particular path.
Okay, okay. So was it in college when you realized that you wanted to become a physical therapist?
Yeah, so I thought about it in high school, but again, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do athletic training or if I wanted to be a sports medicine physician or if I wanted to go into physical therapy. So I tried to use my college time to observe and gain some exposure to all of those different fields so that I could choose the one that fit me the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what advice would you give to Meadowbrook students who are looking into going to that field?
I think observation and exposure is the most helpful thing that a person can do. I know as a physical therapist, a lot of times I'll have students that are interested in the field that call me up and say, can I just come watch you for a few hours? And I think that's the best thing that you can do in any healthcare field, whether you're interested in being a nurse or any fitness field, if you're interested in being a personal trainer. Most people in the field are open to perpetuating the progress of that career, so they're going to be open to students coming in that are interested. So I think that's the first thing that they can do. Academic-wise, I think they need to keep their grades up, number one. And number two, choose an academic background that's going to allow them to be better prepared academically for the field work that they'll have to do to get the degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say is the best part about being a physical therapist?
I chose physical therapy because I have the ability to affect the community at large. I treat patients as young as infancy and as old as their 80s and 90s. So I can literally treat the whole family with movement issues or pain issues. I like physical therapy because it's a more holistic approach. I don't have to cut anybody, I don't have to give anybody any drugs, I don't have to bandage anybody's wound or anything like that, but I can teach a person how to take better care of themselves. So, and the most rewarding part is to have a patient that comes in on day one and they're hurting or they're unable to live their life to the fullest, and they leave at the end of their therapy and they're back to their functional level.
Do you have any favorite memories or events from your days here at Meadowbrook?
Man, there were so many. Like we talked about before, you know, I had involvement in various different things, so I could draw from so many different places. One of the first things that comes to mind is getting inducted into the National Honor Society. It's kind of a buzzworthy thing around school when that time comes because you're excited and you're hopeful that you'll get inducted, but you're not really sure. But they call an assembly. I don't know if they still do this with you all, but they call an assembly, and members of the National Honor Society in the upper classes are the ones who come and kind of induct the newer members. And they come into the audience where the kids are assembled and you get tapped. I think it's with a flower, if I remember correctly. And you go up on stage and your parents are there. They surprise you. They come from backstage and they, I can't remember if you get a pin or a ribbon or something, but your parents are there to kind of induct you into the National Honor Society. So that was one memorable moment.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I have several moments from athletic events. The first one that comes to mind is running in the state track competition. I was lucky enough to be able to go my junior and my senior year. When I went my junior year, though, I had some teammates with me. When I went my senior year, I was the only person on our team that made it.
Okay.
So I rode to Norfolk. I think it was held in Norfolk State's track with my coaches, and they let me bring one friend to go down to the state track meet, which is held over a long weekend, I think a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at Norfolk State. And I was able to compete in the 100-meter hurdles and the triple jump my senior year at track. So that was fun. And it was funny because I didn't anticipate doing well. I thought I was going to run the trial and then leave and go to the beach. But I did really well in my trial, and I had to stay to run the final race, so I didn't get to go to the beach.
So much for the beach,
but,
right?
But I was able to say that I placed in the state, so in the high hurdle, so that was fun. I had most of my friends were in similar clubs and organizations and athletics and musical things, so going to support the orchestra or the jazz band, going to support the football team or the soccer team, and then them coming and doing the same thing for me. I have memory of playing in the Central District Championship my senior year, and friends of mine that were soccer players and football players came out and they made posters, you know, Go Monarchs posters or posters with our names and our player numbers from our jersey, just cheering us on. So there's a lot of great memories that come. And then the other thing I think about my senior year is, and this is exciting to me because you guys still have this opportunity with prom at the Jefferson. So the Jefferson is one of the most renowned hotels in the entire city of Richmond, and Meadowbrook is the only school that gets to have prom there. The only one in the whole area. And they've got this gorgeous staircase that they do a senior walk on, where every single senior in attendance gets his or her name called and gets to descend the staircase to the paparazzi below, which is usually the family members and friends and onlookers. And you get to have your shining moment, and you're in your gorgeous gown or your nice tuxedo, and you have your date on your arm, and you get to go down, and all eyes are on you. So that's something that every Monarch gets to look forward to.
I'm definitely looking forward to that.
I bet you are.
Definitely for my senior year. I can't wait. I can't wait. But for any athletes or just students in general who are looking for therapy, anything, how can they get in touch with you?
So I work for a company called Tidewater Physical Therapy, and Tidewater has several clinics in the area. I'm the clinical director of a clinic right down the road here. It's right on Iron Bridge Road at Centralia in Chesterfield Meadows West Shopping Center. They can pop in anytime and just talk to me about what's going on. If they need an appointment, we can get them scheduled. They can call our office, or they can send me an email, and I'll give you all that information for people that might need to get in touch. But what I want people to know about physical therapy is it's not just for athletes, it's not just for old people, it's for anybody that's having a pain or movement issue. So it could be, maybe you've got a little brother that's a toddler who walks on his toes, and we just can't figure out how to get him to walk normally. He might need physical therapy. Maybe you have a grandmother that just had a hip replacement, or maybe you were in a car accident and you've got neck pain or something like that. So physical therapy is something that really reaches the entire community, athletic or otherwise. So the best way to get in touch with me, like I said, is through email or phone call, but they can also go to their regular physician or sports medicine doctor or the athletic trainer that works with the teams here at Meadowbrook, and all of those people know how to get in touch with me. We work with the community, the athletic community, very closely here, so all of the doctors and all of the athletic trainers are familiar with us and our services.
All right, well, lastly, what advice would you give to students who have a lot of things they want to do and accomplish? Just what advice would you give them to stay on track?
What advice? Okay, so if there are a lot of things that you're interested in, you don't have to pigeonhole yourself. You can sample all of the things. Maybe you like to write and play basketball and you love music. Do all of them. Schedule your time smartly and participate in each one. And if there's one that you have a special passion for, then you can devote a little bit more of your energy there. But you don't have to pigeonhole yourself. You don't have to limit yourself. The sky is the limit, and there's really enough resources and time, and if you've got the passion and the desire to be a part of it, I think that you should go for it. Go for every little part of it, because you can do all of it.
All right, thank you again so much for your time and
my pleasure,
coming
Brittany.
down here to talk to us. I
Of
really
course.
appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right.